this day is different, and it's so awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of good energy in here. But all week we've been catching up with station legends like Alex Reynolds, Fred Anderton, Dan McLean, Connie Smith, and
Bob.
And Bob was on too.
Yeah.
Our final piece has our CHCH Media Panel talking about the kind of the new technology that made our work just a little bit easier.
Channel 11.
I think that it has diminished reporting in that you do not have the same contact, the same experience with the person that you're interviewing.
You develop a real trust, and you develop like with that close contact, and if you know, you'd have to pick up the phone and call somebody, right? And actually go out and talk with them for a long time. Right now, it's like, okay, we're setting up Skype and or Zoom, and it's like when you think you've got your like 30-second soundbite or 15-second soundbite, you kind of in your head go, okay, I'm done, right? Whereas an interview would wrap up, you still have those social skills that you have to have while, you know, things are packing up and you're actually leaving. And it's, I think that connection and those contacts and that trust is gone.
Yeah. From a sports perspective, it's completely changed.
Yes.
I, again, earlier in my career, from a Hamilton perspective, can remember going to Ivor Stadium, talking to a coach. Now, yes, conducting an interview, but also turning off the camera, sitting down with the coach, a player, getting to know them, getting to know their story, also talking about whatever I needed to talk about for that particular newscast. But you build a relationship with players, you build a relationship with all people in sports, whether even executives. And that's lost now.
But the other connection is with the viewers. Viewers react to that emotional feel, and that's the feel that is so necessary in a one-on-one, person-to-person moment.
I remember during the telethons, you and I half the time were a mess.
Oh, well, the emotion is such a powerful tool in journalism, and we're in danger of losing the power of emotion in journalism.
I think that also being here for the time at 2015, I saw how many people went into doing a newscast before, how many reporters we had, how many cameras, all of the resources. That has changed drastically. We have way more VJs than ever going out on their own and putting a story together and then having to come back and edit. So while I 100% agree that those really important, crucial connections and touching interviews should be done in person, there should be no excuse for doing them over Zoom, I have found that with trying to get everything together on your own as a VJ, if you do have to put a Zoom interview in because you want that extra voice or that other side of the story, I would rather do that and not be beating myself up about it and not doing it in person. You know what I mean?
So
I think it's just, it was shocking to see the change in the newsroom of how big it went to how small it went.
Now a lot of organizations like police, fire, whatever it is, really get to put that wall up between us where we can't just show up at the police station and say, okay, give me the detective, like I would have some questions. I have an email address that I have to send it to for a lot of different places. Some places don't even have a phone number I could call anymore. I have to reach out over email, and then they can choose whether they respond to me immediately or tomorrow, or if I have to follow up several times or whatever it is. And it's under the guise of, well, we'll have like 24/7 communication. We'll always be able to communicate, but we lose a lot of access of in person through those things.
Every day, like when I send out an interview request, you know, easiest thing to say is, we can do this Zoom, quick, 5 minutes. That way they essentially can't say no, right? But it's a daily battle to just try and convince people, like, I'll come to where you are, let's do this in person. Because I think the fear too is that if you're over Zoom, you can actually bring up almost like a script, like something you can read off of, and they already know what they want to say, and so it's not really natural. You're not actually getting the answers you want. If you're in person, they're looking at you. It's coming off of their top of their head, so you're going to get the most authentic answers.
Channel 11.